Yay.
Meow.
Woof woof.
Meow.
Okay.
Okay, what is wrong with us?
Okay, that sounds strange, but okay.
Oh
Good.
God.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Alignment Shift, where in the event of this week's Kickstarter with Critical Role, we are very lackluster.
Yeah.
So-
Preach.
Just this week?
Wow.
Well, if you are listening to the stream, though, I would like to plug that Critical Role is running a Kickstarter right now. I don't know where they currently are, but last time I checked, they were at 6.5 million.
6.6 now.
6.6 now. Beautiful. And they are going to be creating a animated series now on the events of Vox Machina. We cannot contain our elation. I just really wanted to put that plug in there too, even though they definitely don't need my help. But does anyone else have other announcements or?
Last week was Kayla's birthday, and
Last week?
happy birthday to her.
Happy
Oh.
birthday!
Wait, we can't do that song. We
No,
can't
we
do
can't
that.
do that song.
That one's copyrighted.
Oh,
We gotta do the restaurant one.
Now, if you invert each note,
yes.
Stop.
or sing backwards too, that works.
We gotta do the happy birthday from all of us to you. That one.
Sure, go right ahead. I don't know that one.
I don't know it either.
I don't either.
I actually just know
I
that
can sing it in
beginning bit.
Spanish.
Sing
How
in
about-
Spanish.
You're gonna make her sing her own happy birthday song?
You monster.
You're a terrible
If
person.
I could, I don't like. I'm getting all stage right.
I know the Spanish one, actually.
I can also sing it in Korean.
You're so talented,
I
Kate.
think we
No,
established at the last version. That's not Korean, that's Japanese.
We could all just compliment her really obscenely.
Is that Japanese?
Yes. That's okay. Who's gonna go first? The first compliment.
Kayla, you are amazing, and from the minute you stepped foot in that cave, I have been honored to have you in this game.
My turn.
Oh,
Okay.
Kayla, you're an immaculate angel, and every time we meet on the battlefield, I look forward to the glory you bring us.
Well, that's hard to top.
Right?
I'm glad you didn't shoot me with lightning that one time.
I'm not even mad at you. I'm not mad that you shot me with lightning.
Okay, Steven, you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Kayla is great.
Sweet and simple.
I
Short
enjoyed
and to
that.
the point.
Wait, my turn. Kayla, you are the most amazing person, and I definitely would not have made it through the last 5 years without you.
y'all stop. I'm gonna cry.
Quick, continue.
Okay,
I'm
now we can get
sick.
to
Why
the
do you want to make me
D&Ds.
cry?
I promise not to stab you in your sleep.
Okay.
Because your tears of joy satiate us.
Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's play some D&D.
Dur.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Flash some weirdness
So-
in there to dry it up.
where last we left off, it was the eve of Monday, the 4th of Horsal, and our party was getting ready for the evening. However, I was unsure if Xavier, were you having plans for the evening tonight?
Well, we did bring it up to the rest of the party about the
Yeah.
little run-in we're going to have. So, how does everyone feel about going and kicking some ass,
I could
potentially?
go.
Well, when you put it like that,
Well,
implies 0% chance of failure. I like it.
is there a reasoning behind it? I will be kicking some
Uh,
ass.
The reasoning behind it is a person that does not like me and wishes for me not to be alive anymore.
Let's do it.
Most likely.
And it's definitely a trap.
Yes.
Oh, okay. More fun.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
I
is I
have a
get to kill
question.
some?
If Elena progresses beyond the point that she doesn't like you, do we have to kill her?
Well, she might just not like me, but I don't think she. Well, I mean, I'm not sure if she wants to kill me.
Is this conversation happening right in front of Elena? For sure it is.
Sure.
Oh well.
She just is sitting back like, oh really? I won't want to kill you.
I mean, it's entirely up to you.
I didn't say that. I'm just looking at you like.
Well, you made it
It's
sound
very
like
distinctive.
you did.
It's a very distinctive gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very distinctive. Oh, you don't think I want to kill you?
But we could also just full on ignore it. And just
Well, what are the ramifications of ignoring it?
They could possibly follow us, ambush us.
Could still also do that. Either way,
We could get in
Yeah.
trouble.
we could get in trouble.
I don't
The
really
Elven
want to
City
get in
of
trouble.
Saneborn?
That too. We could also
Actually-
notify guards.
I changed my mind.
We could also notify the guards.
Let's not do this.
We could notify the
I
guards.
mean, if they
Can we just
want
tell the
to.
guards and then move on? Like, there's an assassin. He's mean. Goodbye.
What are we?
But that brings up the point. How do we tell them?
Yeah.
We got some intel that.
As much as I would like to go do this, and I really would, it might be the smarter play to post up here and take night shifts,
Like in the same room.
or a few.
Well, there's also my bubble,
There's also that.
which unless they are able to cast magic, which there's a possibility, but don't think this specific person does.
And why
I'm-
does this specific person not like you?
Kind of a rivalry that he blew out of proportion
Okay.
and did things that other people didn't like. So blaming things on me because there's a lot of reasons.
I think if we post up here, we need to stay in the same room just because so we could get fully rested for our travels
Yes.
and dealing with the council hopefully tomorrow.
Well,
Those in favor of posting up here?
I will do whatever anybody else wants to.
Well, I think that's majority role there.
All right. First thing we do, talk ourselves out of the one thing we had planned.
All right. So, the party, reluctant to follow Xavier into a certain trap, spends the night in shifts. Who's going to take the first shift?
I
I'll
will.
take the first shift.
I will also because I have to put up the bubble.
All right. So Elena and Xavier, I'd like you to roll a perception check with advantage.
Both of us or just one of us?
Just one.
What's your perception?
What's my perception? Probably not as good as yours.
I have a +5. Fuck it,
I have a +8.
I already rolled. 18.
Okay.
18. Okay. So you're the first couple hours of your shift as you all post up together in a room at the Fertile Water Inn. The evening goes by quietly. The bar below bustling with business this evening, and from your room you can hear the muffled music from down below. But nevertheless, several hours pass uninterrupted, and you two make it through your shift. So who's going to take the second shift?
We also did it.
I will.
inside.
I will as well.
All right, one of the two of you roll with advantage.
Just like me too.
Go ahead.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Nat 20.
Unnatural
That's
20.
Unnatural 20. Unnatural.
Modded 20.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
No,
Yeah.
my dice are clean.
So, fail safe.
So
Creepy.
your your shift goes by uninterrupted. Nothing seems to go wrong in your shift. And however, after several hours of your shift, you're sitting there on the edge of the bed, listening to the sounds of the bar from below, and glance up at the doorway. And you realize you don't know when it happened, but the door has been open since some point when your shift started. You swear it was closed when you woke up to start your shift, but you never noticed it open, and you don't know how long it's been ajar.
Well, I don't like the sound of that. Head count. Is everyone still here?
Put the lid on that jar.
Glancing on the room, everyone still seems to be ready and present.
Bubble is opaque from the outside.
It's up to Xavier.
It's opaque. Clear.
It is opaque from the outside.
Yeah.
How far is the edge of the bubble to the door?
People can't see in, but we can see out.
Right.
How big is your sphere, Xavier?
It is a 10-foot area, so...
10 foot? So you're probably backed in the corner, kind of away from the door around the bed. So the door is probably got about 10 or 15 feet from the bubble.
Large room.
Can I zip out, close the door, and zip back?
Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Oh my.
Get that 20.
Mm-hmm.
Get that +5 modifier.
What? Wait, what +5?
Don't you have a +5 modifier to your dexterity?
No.
Hold on. Did you say dexterity saving throw?
No, check.
Check.
Check. Okay.
He's just sprinting. She's just sprinting really fast out of the bubble and closing the door and sprinting back in.
21.
21.
I have a +6.
Like a child who's turning the lights off in the basement, you
Exactly.
bolt from the bubble and with a flash slam the door shut, flick the bolt closed, and run back to the bubble. Nothing seems to happen as you do.
Excellent.
However, make a perception check.
I'm also quite speedy. Ooh. I'm gonna move those pencils. 9.
Nope. Okay.
Nope. What does that mean?
Nothing.
I am also awake for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be fair to say that I would be making a check as well?
Sure. Go ahead.
See
Better than
something
9.
See something with your special eyes.
Ooh, I rolled really, really well.
Oh.
Perception check. You didn't hear me, did you?
I did not.
22.
22. As Vale bolts from the bubble and bolts back, you see this waft in the breeze, and for just a moment, you see just a shimmer, and this piece of paper just kind of, as Vale runs by, kind of appears in the air, almost as if stirred by Vale's movement. And it's a folded piece of paper that flutters gently to the floorboards, bumping up against the edge of the sphere and falling on the ground as Vale rushes back in, out of breath, triumphant from locking the door.
I will pluck it from the air before it touches the floor.
Yeah, sure. It's not that hard of a dexterity thing, I suppose. You reach out of the bubble and grasp the folded piece of paper.
What's on it?
As you open the paper, you turn it around in your hands, and you see in very elegant cursive a short note, which reads, "How adorable. You huddle in the dark, cowering together, comma, safe, secure. Sleep well." And then just the letter A.
A non-dual. I knew it.
Who?
That's our tree friend.
Or Eladrin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making that up.
Okay, I will fold up the note for now and stick it in my pocket, and I will.
Okay. For the rest of your shift, Eldorus, why don't you make the perception check with advantage?
Doesn't trust your rolls, fail.
I mean, Veil just did the last one.
16.
16. Okay. Once again, a couple hours of your shift pass, and as you glance over the moonlit waters outside Singorn, you glance back toward the door, and once again, slightly ajar. It seems to have creaked open at some point during your shift, but you don't know when it happened.
What the F?
Sneaky buggers.
Right?
Jeez.
Vale, you are seeing.
Huh?
Snap out of it. Are you awake?
I didn't hear you. You cut out.
I'm going to cut you out. You see the door? It's open again.
Damn.
Damn,
Take it easy, all right? Yeah, I see it now that you've pointed it out.
You sure you're locked it? Yes.
Yeah, I bolted it.
That means whatever it is probably in the room.
Or left. Or there's another one in the room. What do you suggest we do?
I don't know.
Well, nothing can get in here. I can close the door again. I'm gonna walk out and close the door.
Okay.
I
So
will
Vale-
prepare. I would like to prepare I would like to prepare a Eldritch Blast in case something.
All right. And now this time, the child that forgot something in the basement after turning off the light. You step out tentatively, passing 1 foot out of the sphere, testing the floorboard, which creaks loudly under your footstep. And as you make each step forward, I'd like you to make a stealth check.
I'm not sneaking. I'm doing
Not
it in
sneaking? Okay.
a very bait-like fashion.
All right. So you walk out in the middle slowly and obviously. You move toward the door. You push it shut. You grab the iron bar and pull it. And it slams into the other end. I need you to make... I'm kidding.
I'm ready.
I'm kidding.
That's what bait is for.
You breathe a sigh of relief as the door closes and you have made it to the other end of the room. You glance around. Make another perception check.
I want to do like a once-over of the room.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check.
I don't think there's anything in here, but I'd rather be safe. Jesus, every time it falls off my mouse pad. Another 9.
I will assume, for the purposes of what is going on, that everyone has your personal belongings inside the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even with a 9, as you glance about the room, you notice a few things slightly off. The dresser drawer on the other end of the room from the sphere just slightly pulled open. The closet on the other end, its door slightly ajar. It looks as though someone didn't close some things all the way in here as you glance around, but you don't see anything important missing.
Want to check under the bed, check the closet.
Well, the
Be too careful.
bed is within the sphere.
Okay.
where the giant king-size mattress where everyone is currently sleeping.
Cramped sphere.
It is a little cramped in there. But with your 9 investigation, you look around, you find no real evidence of anything specific.
Is there like a chair in the room
Yeah, there's a pretty.
that I could prop up against the door?
Yeah.
Just in case. I don't think it'll help, but
Okay.
make me feel better.
Go ahead and okay. So you prop you pull over this large
wedge it under the
cushioned
doorknob.
chair and wedge it beneath the doorknob.
Yeah.
And make your way back into the sphere. Make a perception check. No, you know what? Actually, no. I don't. Actually, you know what? This is obvious because you're staring and you're attentive now. So
My passive perception's fairly high.
as you go back into the sphere, the two of you watch in moderate horror as this is strange to you. The bolt on the door. Now that you are watching it, you watch as it very slowly begins to slide across the wood. And you see the door try to open, the door handle turning.
That's spoopy.
And then you watch as the chair
Oh.
slides to the side.
Is this like loud enough to possibly wake us?
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
I feel like it's amplified for the horror element.
A little amplified for the horror element.
I don't wake up.
Is that a conscious choice or a roll?
That was a 9.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
Can I see if
Yeah.
Elena wakes up?
Sure. Just a perception with disadvantage. Kayla, if you'd like to as well.
I rolled 19 twice.
Oh, okay.
So that's
27.
What?
It's 27.
Yeah.
And Kayla, are you attempting to wake up?
Sorry, give me one moment.
Excuse me.
Is it bad that I just imagine Sapala like rolled up like a pet at the
Little
end of the bed?
burrito.
No.
21.
Okay, so Elena and Sapala, you both waken hearing what sounds like wood scraping across wood as a large chair, as you sit up, is being like you're kind of groggy, and you look up to see Uldurez and Vale staring at the door, which is casting some relative light into the room.
What the hell is going on?
Quiet, both of you. Wait. Get ready.
I get out my sword. What is going on?
See, Paula hides behind Vale.
I'm outside the sphere.
Oh, never mind.
Runs out of the sphere to hide.
You Torres, what is happening?
Something keeps opening the door.
That's it. It's just opening the door.
The door is a mimic.
The door was wedged shut by Vale, and the chair has been moved.
And have you looked if anything has left any signs of it being here? Or...
Yes, I found something on the floor. I will show it to you later.
Okay.
I'm still patiently waiting to see what happens next.
Should we awaken the magician?
Hold on, we're still watching in horror.
I go over and I
Oh my god.
stare at Xavier and then I kick him. Gently kick him. Gently.
Yeah. That was not your initial intention, though.
So you go over and you nudge Xavier a little harder than you intended with your foot on the bed.
10 points of damage.
What?
There's something
It's
There's
a critical
some-
hit.
magical and creepy going on. The door keeps opening by itself. You might
Well,
want to wait.
was there anything on the other side of the door? Did it open all the way?
Nope, just slightly
Okay.
creaked open.
Can I see anything through the crack in the door?
Make a perception check.
Ah,
You knew this was
Something
coming.
magical. What?
Not on the mouse pad. On the desk.
The door was locked and when
21.
it's not.
Glancing through, you see no one in the hallway. You just see those same flameless, flickering torches that line the hallway above. Nothing obvious out there.
Let me
You
take
might
a
want
let me
to
take a
wake up.
look, and closing my eyes real quick and opening them. My eyes are red as I cast detect magic.
Gross.
Sorry, I missed that. You cast what?
Detect magic.
Detect magic.
I close my eyes for a moment. I open them and they're red.
So as you glance around the room, you no longer, or you do not see anything magic in the room besides the accoutrement that your party has with you,
And probably the bubble.
and the bubble. Yeah, the bubble's like a big blinding sphere in the center of the
Just see a
room.
big red, or whatever color abjuration is.
Yeah,
Or is it abjuration? I can't remember. I think it's transmutation.
probably.
I think it's
Spoopy.
transmutation. No, evocation. Probably red. That surprises me. I mean, other than our equipment and bubble, there's nothing magical.
Hey, fam, try and close the door again.
I will close the door again.
While he's
Okay.
closing the door, I will hand
Sweet.
Xavier the note that I picked up off the floor.
No, what's this?
It was on the floor.
Is there any magic I see on it or no?
Nope, completely mundane, and the ink on it is not even completely dry.
Yep, I knew it. I'll fold back up. I'll stick it in my pocket.
Okay.
Are you trying to fuck with us, Alec? I just say it out into the room.
Couple quiet moments pass, but there is no response.
Yes.
Honestly, that would have been more surprising than the silence.
Right?
Did,
I will close the door.
Mhm.
I will relock it. So is it just like a typical bolt?
Yeah, just a very typical bolt. There's not much to it. This inn is not very upper class.
All right, then I'm gonna take my dagger and jam it into the wood right behind it so it can't open.
Okay.
I put the chair back against the door. Stay closed.
Stay closed. All right. So now, as the two of you are going to bed, who's going to take the next shift? Or is everyone staying up for the rest of the night?
on Alan is perfect.
I'm not going to bed.
So Sipala is taking the next
So-
shift.
All right.
I can't remember. Is there a window?
There is a window.
Is the window open?
That's up to you guys.
Well, it would
No.
presumably
No?
be locked. But we're just
All
trying
right,
to see
guys.
if it's doing the same thing as the door.
We're gonna bunker down. Open that window. It's a little musty in here.
Yeah, I would assume that with how protective you guys are being, that the window was closed. It's also technically winter in Singorn, which is not overly chilly, but it's not summer.
Not toasty.
So we'll say the window is closed and barred, and currently is still in that state.
Okay. Sapala, if you're staying up, if something happens, wake us up.
Alright.
As I'm still staring at you with red eyes.
So is anyone else staying up with Sapala?
I can.
All right. So Benedictus and Sapala, one of the two of you make a perception check with advantage.
That's all you.
I. Alright. 19.
19. Okay. So this time, partway through the night, a couple hours into your shift, Sapala, as you're sitting there on the bed, you hear in the hallway the familiar steps of boots on wood. As they approach the door, you hear the wood creak from the outside. as you focus your eyes on the door, you see a very slight shimmer in the air around the bolt, and the bolt across the wood. And once again, the door handle.
Really?
And then you see the chair kind of tip a little, but not all the way. And the door handle again. And then the footsteps go back down the hall.
The Paula places the chair back where
Puts it back.
and then runs back.
You're really muffled.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
that's really loud now.
sorry.
Surprise!
See Paula places the chair back where it was, and she runs while she's doing it.
Okay.
And then she like kind of hides under the covers, but her head like she can see out of it towards the door.
Well, we're all just a bunch of scared kids.
But and Benedictus, you saw this transpire as well.
Huh.
Huh.
Benedictus is not smart enough to be scared.
Does Benedictus say that out loud?
No.
Is Benedictus Ice Bear?
What?
Have you never
We Bear
seen We
Bears.
Bear Bears? You need
No.
to watch We Bear Bears.
Okay.
You would love it. You would love it.
Okay. Anyways.
Specifically because of Ice Bear. But
Ice Bear
whatever.
feels no
Okay.
feels no things.
Ice Bears.
Does anything else happen?
No. So, assuming that you spend the rest of your shift huddled under the blankets watching the doorway, hours pass and the sun begins to creep up over the Stormcrest Mountains. And the rest of the party awakens to see Sapala's eyes transfixed on the door.
Paula, are you okay?
I heard boots.
And we are in Lilin. There are plenty of boots.
Yes, but these
Yeah.
boots tried to
made for
get in the
walking.
door,
Uh,
but it didn't work.
Xavier, is this all connected to your situation?
Well, can't say I was wrong about him trying to come after us.
We'll be
Very well
prepared
could
for
be.
it.
And judging
Right,
from
but-
the letter he also decided to deposit into our room. Yeah, it's most likely him.
Alright. Well, we need to get on with our travels and go see if the council will let us speak to them.
Yes.
So we're just gonna ignore the guy that straight up threatened us.
For the
Wait,
moment.
I don't know about that. Never mind.
So we're just gonna ignore the guy that straight up threatened us.
Well, I mean, unless you can find him, I don't see him anywhere.
Well, in my opinion, someone who likes to hide in the dark, and well, not us, but him, and not, and tried to kill someone just because. Well, he's a coward, so he's not worth our time.
Agreed.
Then we'll be ready. We'll be on the lookout in case he does try something else.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I'll give him a talking to.
That's
And a
right.
flower.
He
And a flower.
Yes,
He's not
probably.
really one of the ones you can easily give a talking to.
Y'all said the same thing about Liam.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just implied.
Or you implied it.
Let's get on with our day then. Let me check the door.
Take my dagger back.
Is it Is it still like locked after Sapala?
It is unlocked. It is unlocked, but the chair is in front of it, and the dagger is still firmly wedged in the frame.
Well, it was supposed to be in the door so that the bolt couldn't go back after it was locked.
I misunderstood you. So it is still bolted. Sapala, you watched as the bolt attempted to move last night. You saw it like bumping into the dagger.
Vale.
Thank you.
Is that the sound effect of you opening the door?
Well,
That was the bolt.
That's the bolt.
It's a little
Oh,
rusty.
the bolt. Oh yeah. So you pull the bolt.
Move the chair. Vale, catch.
Oh god!
I mage hand the door open.
Okay. How far away are you standing?
Make a dex check.
10 feet.
What was that?
About 10 feet.
Okay. So as the mage hand opens the door, you suddenly see a small stack of papers flutter down that appear to have been wedged in the top of the door frame, and this kind of clutter on the floor around the base of the door frame.
I'll mage hand one of them, see if they're notes.
As the mage hand picks up one of the papers, it flips over and you see a crude pencil drawing, but with remarkable detail in it. As it floats towards you, what you see is a sketch that is perfectly shaded in charcoal, and it appears to be the perspective of someone in the back of the room that you're currently in, facing the doorway, and someone that looks like Vale running toward the door.
Wow, he draws blurs really well.
Mm-hmm. Don't like that.
Nah.
Is it like a good picture? Or...
It's
I mean,
judging by the performance check that I made, it's not bad.
Well,
It's really well done.
What point of view from the
If you were hold on, let me see what screen we're on here on Roll20. Okay, so we're on here. All right, if you can see what I'm drawing on Roll20, if this is the room.
whoa.
One sec. Okay.
And like here's the bed, and I'm trying to remember how to do a sphere. Is it Alt? All right, so here was the sphere approximately. This is not 100% accurate. Don't get mad at me.
Grr.
And this is so say this is the door, and you guys were all clustered in here. The perspective would have been somewhere over here.
No line of sight on the door.
Through a transparent sphere, sure.
It's opaque.
Yeah. Can't see
It's
in,
true.
but we can see out.
Transparent
In
from
that
the
case-
inside.
In that case, I rephrased. It was here. I mistook what opaque means.
It's okay. No one saw him here anyway.
For those listening at home, it's somewhere in the room.
They could see it.
Oh,
Yeah, he switched it.
Yeah.
oh, cool.
Now with map mode.
Yeah.
Ooh, upgrade.
That we've never had to use until now.
Legal warning: I do not own all of the images that are used on this page. So, sorry.
Especially
Please
the
don't-
squares and the circles that he
Please
drew.
don't
He
sue
doesn't
us.
own those either.
Okay.
That's right. We need to get that better version of the map.
Elena
Yeah.
walks over and like picks up one of the drawings.
As you pick up the drawing, you see Sapala at one point as she had stepped out of the bubble. There's a drawing of her placing a chair against the door, looking kind of scared in the photo, or not the photo, in the charcoal drawing, with surprising detail to every flaw in her skin, every mole, every curl of her hair is in the right spot.
Your friend, Xavier.
Yes. Most likely. I go to the spot where the perspective was where they were being drawn from.
So as you walk into that corner, you understand. It's a good vantage point on the room. You can see where the bed would have been, though your sphere would not have shown anything on the side. But it's a relatively out of the way corner of the room where no one would really go. There's nothing there for someone to approach. No cabinet or anything. It's a very open area, though. You don't understand how someone could have been standing there and not be seen.
Well, they couldn't see us unless we left the bubble, so I'm assuming the rest of the drawings are probably a veil just standing there watching the door.
Is that what the other drawings are of?
As you flip through, some of them are of the sphere in the room. Some of them are of Sapala, Vale, and also a couple sketches of you guys at dinner with members of the Black Hand from the evening prior.
Starward Watch.
Or I'm sorry, I started. I did it again.
One day he'll get it right.
My own creation. I can't even. The Stalwart Watch. Yes, from a corner of the bar down below, you see sketches of each and every one of you.
Are there any with possibly any writing?
Every single one of these is signed with a brilliant cursive A at the bottom.
Yep, it's him.
Xavier. I say, holding one of the other papers.
Bernie.
Seems he's been watching us for a while.
I would have words with him. My eye does not droop like this.
That is what you're worried about. Not the
I
fact
always
that we
get
have
the
a
nose
stalker.
wrong.
That
This
what you're
is
worried
my image.
Not the fact that we have a stalker who is attempting to kill us.
I mean,
Look, he paid very special attention to all of you, and look, he did an immaculate job on yours. He got all the curls, he got that snooty expression of yours. You can tell this is a rich girl with a privileged life.
Oh yeah.
I walk out of the room. I'm done with that.
Wow.
So done with that insult.
Can
I'm headed to the council.
I hold on to one of those?
take them all.
I thought I was being funny, I'm sorry.
I thought it was funny.
Bind them together.
While,
make a picture.
while everyone is having this conversation, Uldoris will walk over to that corner of the room, and he will investigate the wall. See if there's any holes, any openings, any seams or anything.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Oh, AJ, I found it funny. Elena did not find it funny.
Natural.
Natural
Hey.
one. So you guys watch as Eldores goes to the opposite side of the room from where Xavier is currently standing and begins investigating the wrong end.
No, over here. Never mind.
Eudorus, are you okay?
Why? What?
I don't think that's right. She's pointing to the other side of the room.
Yeah, look at the perspective lines.
Well, I didn't look at the pictures.
I'm showing them to you.
Oh, oh, I see. I will take the picture with me, and I will walk to the other corner.
As you walk to the other corner, you look at it and are just utterly confused as to what corner of the room it should be. You're kind of looking at it, and you have it actually upside down in your hand, and you don't remember Vale doing a handstand like that. But
Good, though.
I mean, maybe it happened. But yeah, with a natural one investigation check, you don't find anything.
I'm very speedy. I could have done.
Elena's downstairs eating breakfast.
All right.
I'll also be down there.
Eventually, everyone, you make your way
Yeah.
down and have your breakfast for the day. Glancing around, it looks as though the stalwart watch has already left. You do not see any members except for Laura, who comes downstairs at one point, followed closely by Ananduil. You see now that Laura actually has a very tight cornrows done to her hair, and pulled back into kind of a ponytail itself, but her hair seems to have been meticulously done by Ananduil.
Looks nice, Laura.
I hate everything. Where's the coffee?
Oh, come
And
on.
there's the lower we know.
It's
Anyway.
not that bad.
No, it's not bad. I wanted something, and I made the mistake of mentioning it around Anna here, and so one thing led to another, and then we spent 6 hours braiding my hair. So,
Nice.
I mean, it looks okay.
to be fair, she restarted 3 times.
Oh,
I think you look great.
I agree.
So did you get any sleep?
Sure.
I feel
Yeah.
your pain.
Sleep. Yeah. Great. Loves coffee.
So
Coffee.
before we leave,
That way.
we are going with the council of Singapore, hopefully.
We'll try.
So you can either accompany us or
I'll wait here for you guys. I don't really think they want to talk to me right now.
Fair enough.
And Laura looks in like coffee.
That way.
Go without me. I'm gonna get coffee.
All right.
I drank too much last night. Fuck.
You might want to
Agreed.
work on that.
So she goes over and gets coffee and happily eats some lambus bread. I assume everyone is going toward the council chambers.
Yes, I'm keeping a
Yeah.
very adamant eye out.
Sure. Make a perception check.
I'm gonna have Beak look around as well.
Real quick. Did we
Yes.
have everything prepared for leaving? We believe we got food.
Yep. We got rations. We got
we
Yep.
have our cart,
Got our
don't we?
got our cart and horses.
Believe we got a couple healing potions in town.
You have a professional grade cook here.
That's right.
Amazing fondue, by
Unlike-
the way.
You're welcome.
All right.
Oh,
I
before
don't know
we
if you
leave,
said thank you or not. I couldn't hear you over the radio.
Yes, thank you. It was amazing.
Okay.
Cal,
Yes.
before we leave the inn, I need to talk to Ananduil.
Sure. So as everyone kind of starts gathering their things for the day, you approach Ananduil, who is happily munching on some lambus bread. Just kind of stuffing her face with it. You see crumbs are flying everywhere, all down her shirt, all across the table, and she just doesn't seem to be caring as she. Oh, Sapala!
Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
Can I talk to you for a moment?
Always.
Okay. We kind of go to the other side of the room where nobody's at.
What? Is it a secret?
Oh no, I just wanted to give you something.
Oh, you didn't. I don't have anything for you.
It's okay. I hand her the arm band thing I got her.
I love it.
Ow!
There's a little leaf on it, so it's a little piece of home.
Oh no! I didn't get you anything.
You don't have to get me anything. I just wanted to make you feel welcome.
She bends down and gives you the biggest, hardest hug you've received since you left Glaive, and actually picks you up off your feet for just a moment or two and kind of puts you back down, and she immediately puts on the armband, and you can see she's just welling with happiness.
Well, you enjoy your breakfast, and we'll be back soon, and then we can head out, okay?
Oh my god, I love you guys!
We love you too, okay?
Oh.
Okay, go sit down. Go enjoy your breakfast.
She runs back over, and she's immediately like pestering the patrons that were around the table. She's like, "Look at what my friend got me! Look! Oh
I walk back over to the group.
All right. So now, Xavier, what was your perception check?
Can I make? Am I also making one for Beak?
For Beak, yeah.
Alright. Here's Beak's, and he has advantage.
Me.
That's a modded 20, and
Me.
mine is a natural 1, so my bird is more perceptive than me.
All right. So as you are distracted going through the busy streets of Singorn, Beak, however, where is Beak? Flying above or on your shoulder?
He's on my shoulder. Well, he's on my head.
On your head? Beak does begin to notice that there is a figure as you walk through the streets, and you're weaving in and out of people. A figure in a red and purple cloak seems to go out of his way to come near the party in the crowd. And as he brushes by you, Xavier, you hear him just kind of, "Oh, I'm sorry." But Beak notices that his hand slipped into your pocket as he went by. And
I grab him.
make a dexterity check.
Natural 20.
Okay, so
Nice.
not even a moment passes as his hand leaves your purse when you snatch his hand out of the air, and you see as about 10 gold pieces go clattering to the stonework between the two of you.
I don't appreciate my stuff being stolen.
Oh, I'm sorry, mister. No harm, no foul.
I have Beak is rounding up the coins.
Okay.
Get out
Beak
of here.
swoops down and begins clutching them in her paws or claws.
Yeah, I'll pick up my coins. I'm gonna check everything else. Not my person.
Yeah, you pat yourself down. Everything seems in order. Nothing else is missing. As you let go of the figure, he begins to run and deftly pass between people in the crowd.
Did I recognize him?
So as you very briefly, as you bent down to pick up the coins, glanced up at him, you saw an elder, not elder, maybe a late 40s, early 50 year old man with wearing an eye patch over one eye, with kind of gnarled, wrinkled skin with a reddish tint coming around the eye patch. Nothing you recognize, though. No.
I keep most of my belongings in my handy haversack, so I'm putting everything else in there.
Okay. The rest of the way to the yep.
So, Alayla just kind of over her shoulder. So, have we decided who's going to be the one person to meet with the council?
I point at Elena.
Say probably the person that has
Who actually has the audience with the council.
Yes.
The letter was addressed to you.
All right. Yay.
And we attempted to make a bit of fanfare introducing you.
All right.
Obviously,
then.
we didn't do a good job.
I guess that's settled.
Elena,
Yes,
be good.
I will.
Okay. That's all.
All right.
All right. So as you make your way approaching the ivory walls encrusted with vines, the guards once again stop you and ask you to present your invitation.
I hold it up with an eyebrow, like.
One of them extends a hand towards you for the invitation.
Hand to it.
He opens it. All right, so you will be approaching the Citadel. You will enter the third corridor. It is not a meeting with the entire council. You will be meeting, however, with Lord Verdant Calendar at the Barrel Keep this afternoon. But head up to the council and you will be transported there shortly.
Okay. I told
I
you
don't-
we have to do this now or never.
Yeah.
We could leave this afternoon and it will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
All right. So the gates in front of you, which looked solid almost before, just a thin white line cascades down between them, and the door parts open, and you see the winding stairs going up for 7 flights ahead of you, and you're immediately dizzied by the height that you're going to be climbing now. As you take your steps forward, there are those awkward steps. They're not quite high enough to be a full step, but not quite low enough where you're on a plane. Just every step awkwardly stepping forward further and further. It takes you a good 10 to 15 minutes of climbing to get to the top of this slope.
It's just me, right?
Just you. The door is closed behind you, and the party is free to wait for you on the other side.
I wave. Like, wish me good luck.
Over the ear. Don't die.
I'll try.
You'll do fine. Just remember, you're royal. They expect great things from you. Just act more prissy than they do, and they will respect what you have to say. Probably not. Good luck.
All right.
So one of the guards brings you in to the front of the palace, and as the doors open, you are immediately greeted by the splendor of this castle. Incredibly high vaulted ceilings supported by pillars of gleaming marble. Each of these marble pillars is carved to resemble a great big elm tree. And the entire ceiling looks like a canopy of leaves and branches encrusted over the top. With every step you hear echoing off the various walls. The castle is mostly deserted. Very few people walk the halls, save for the occasional guard here and there. Continuing through, you pass beautiful portraits and busts of elven persons of various walks of life and men, women, each one with a placard below listing them as past wardens. You pass an ornate tapestry depicting Yenlara and the creation of Singorn on the wall. As you reach the grand staircase, you are led up even more stairs, and at this point, your thighs begin to burn with how many stairs you've been going up. You're led up not one, not two, but to the 3rd floor. Hold on. Yes. So you're led up the 1st floor, past the 2nd floor, and as you go by the 2nd floor, you see this floor is much more filled with people, more dignitaries and people going by from room to room, ambassadors. You see many other walks of life, Dragonborn, a couple humans here and there passing, having very important discussions with other members as you continue upward.
No half-elves besides myself.
None that you can tell just from a glance.
Okay. All right.
But as you are led through this floor, eventually you're taken into a room where there are many guards. And you see in Elvish, you read Elvish, correct?
Yes.
Just a sign that says, to the Barrel Keep. And you are ushered in. And in this room, you see a large stone platform in the middle with a glowing ring of green energy around it. And as well as an elven gentleman with a book standing in the corner. And as you come in, he looks up.
Is it the same elven gentleman from last time?
It is not.
It's not the old man that we met out front?
No.
Okay.
So as you enter, the door closes behind you and the guards lead you in there. The man with the book looks up, and he's a young elven man, balding in the front of his head just a little bit, but a well-learned man looks up to you. Hello, what can I do for you today?
I have a meeting, and I hold the invitation out.
Yes, I believe Elaine, correct?
Yes, sir.
You are to be meeting with the Verin Lord Calendar, yes.
Yes.
Well, step on through the portal. You shall be received at the Barrel Keep.
Portal. Okay. All right.
That's
Nothing
another
will
term
happen.
for door.
Is it like a portal? Or is it a door? It's just this is
No, you just see a stone platform in the center with glyphs on the floor that are emanating a green glow.
Nothing's going to happen to me in that portal, is it?
No, you're just going to be transported from here to another secure location.
All right. Then I go and I like dust myself off and like straighten my shoulders and like walk through it.
Oh, before you go,
Yes.
you will be meeting with the Lord Calendar, so a few words to you. I recommend short sentences. Only speak when spoken to. Always answer yes, my lord, or no, my lord.
But he is not my lord.
He is our lord in the Verdant Lord Calendar, and he is. You will do well to respect him.
I will.
Other than that, good luck.
Thank you. And I walk through the portal.
All right, so you go over and you stand on the platform, and it doesn't seem to do much at first. But then as you're standing there, you glance down, the glyphs seem to swell and grow in intensity, and suddenly you feel yourself being slammed across time and space. You felt this once before when Gilmore teleported you to the base of the mountain. You recognize the sensation, and the ground comes whirling back to you. And you endeavor to hold down the breakfast that you had as you are teleported across Singorn to the Barrel Keep. And as your eyes adjust, you are no longer in a bright lit room. Instead, nothing but blackness surrounds you, save for several emerald torches that line the walls, but barely casting any light on the stone around.
And I don't see anyone around me.
No one.
Okay.
And
I,
as you
pull out my sword.
Sure. So you pull out your sword in the darkness, and as it leaves its scabbard, you hear the metal against leather echo down the hallway, ringing off the almost obsidian black stone that makes up this room. The hallway in front of you stretches seemingly endlessly in front of you, but you do see a glow at the other end, like a light at the end of the tunnel.
I walk forward, but very cautiously with my sword still out.
All right. So you walk, and it takes you a few minutes, but eventually you approach the edge of the hallway, and as you enter this chamber, the strangest conglomeration of items surround the room. You see mechanical creations, large clockwork machines ticking, familiar to you with how your father worked, and the rhythmic pattern almost reminds you of home for a moment, but there's also a bastardization to the work as magical crystals line every single item in this room and every single wall. And in the very center, you see almost like an upside down artichoke, this giant conglomeration of multiple colored crystals hanging from the ceiling, easily the size of a water tower in this enormous chamber that you've walked into. Hanging like GLaDOS from Portal in the center of the room. At the very bottom, you see a massive chair looking up toward the crystals, and in the center, a very old elf. Fragile, wearing black robes draped over a skeletal frame, bald with long pointy ears that droop at the end, leaning back and looking up at this crystal, his eyes glazed over and white as you approach in this direction.
I say, "Hello, my lord."
As you say this, you watch him kind of shake in the chair. A sudden jolt goes through his entire body. His eyes, which were white and transfixed on the crystals, suddenly come back to a clarity and a deep blue with black pupils. You hear him. The chair seems to float and rotates upward on the ground, depositing him onto his feet. The black robes draping over the front, cascading over the steps leading up to this precipice. You must be Lady Ellen.
Yes, my lord. I put my sword away.
You do well to keep your weapon away.
I did not know what was down this hall, so I thought it was best to protect myself.
Dispense with the pleasantries. What news have you brought before me?
The Deceiver gods are planning something together.
The Deceiver gods have no power here.
They have followers and cults. I've ran into some. We gave your secretary a medal of their
Yes.
community.
He reaches into his robes and pulls out. I have been presented this trinket. What other news have you?
They are planning something. I do not know what, but they are digging up sites of great wars, I believe. They've dug underneath Whitestone and blew it up, and there is a artifact near Sigorn that they are after as well, and one in Iman, and many other places.
And you seek my blessing.
I seek to warn you so that you may protect Sigorn and its people.
I am quite capable of protecting Sigorn.
I know that, but without a warning, how could you know to protect them?
Without warning. Come here, child.
I walk forward.
He extends a long, bony hand toward you and leads you up. Come, have a seat.
What will happen?
You will see the extent of my vision.
Do I want to see this?
I don't know, Elena, do you?
No, I was asking him.
Oh.
I was asking the elf side.
Do you wish to see the threats that are kept at bay from Sigorn every day?
I imagine they are great, but this seems it might be greater.
Your family continues to puzzle me. It's true your blood has been diluted over generations, but you seem to have a talent for being in the right place at the right time.
None of us planned. I can assure you that.
Nevertheless, here you are. So say that I do believe you, and I do wish to protect Sigorn. How would you advise me to do this? He begins to circle you around the chair as he asks this question.
Warn your people, prepare them.
Inform them that there is a great calamity coming.
Not a great calamity, just that there are cults that wish to do harm. Do not allude to the whole truth, but part of the truth so that they may be prepared in some way.
Perhaps I could inform them, but there would have to be something you do for me as well.
Is me not trying to help my own people not good enough?
As I said, you have potential. But there is the fact of how diluted your blood is. You are barely 1/4 elf at this point, are you not?
Yes. But
I
the elves
can
still hate
tell.
people.
Then perhaps you would not. Perhaps you would not disagree with a simple test of metal, then.
Very well.
Excellent. There is a place in Singorn, overrun by the Feywild. A once splendid manor house in the south of Singorn, now completely overgrown. It seems since the last time we visited Singorn, a certain number of Fey beings decided to make it their home. If you can reclaim this now blight upon our city, you shall not only have my ear, but my direct aid in whatever endeavor you wish to do to help the elven people.
All right.
Excellent. When you have completed the task, return to me.
How am I to return to you without another invitation?
The gods will know.
Very well.
And one more thing.
Yes.
Take your time. The Fey blight. The Fey menace has been here for quite some time. I do not expect you to have it completed immediately, but the faster you get it done, the faster we can begin work on preparing the people for your announcement.
Unfortunately, time is not on our side. So,
That is your prerogative.
all right.
Now leave.
Very well. I turn and leave.
He sits back in the chair, and you turn, look over your shoulder, and watch as he looks back up to the crystals, and his eyes glaze back over, and you see the flickering crystals begin to strobe around the room as you walk back down the hallway toward the portal that you went through the first time.
I didn't ask. Oh, said the manor was in the south, correct? Of Singorn?
He said a manor, yes.
I to the guy at the other port, like at the book, and I asked him about the manor, if he knew anything about the manor.
Ah, he sent you to take care of the Fey Grove.
Yes.
Oh, that is an absolute infestation in the city. It's about time someone did something about that.
Do you know, by chance, which creatures are inhabiting the manor?
Specifically, no. We do believe that we are aware of many creatures in there. The guards are working every single day to ensure that none of them escape into the city. I believe there has been a number of centaurs spotted, as well as, well, we know who their leader is, at the very least. He names himself Windy Branch.
Windy Branch.
Windy Branch, yes. Self-proclaimed Prince of the Pixies.
What a wonderful title.
He thinks so as well.
All right. And then, where's the location of this manor?
Ah, yes. Follow the Grove Street all the way to the south. You cannot miss it. You will just see a brilliant manor, absolutely overrun with massive mulberry trees. So that would be the location that you'd be looking for.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
I guess I leave.
All right. So
Also,
you make your.
at the same time, I'm like looking for my brother's boyfriend just to see if I could spot him real quick.
Make a perception check.
That is a 22.
22. As you walk back through the seemingly business portion of the second level of the Citadel, you pass a whole bunch of emissaries and ambassadors, visiting dignitaries, and the business of state. One ajar door seems to lead to a treasury department. You do not see your quote-unquote brother's boyfriend. However, you do see the department in which you believe he works in, which is the treasury area of the
Can I go in there real quick?
So you walk over and you push open the door, and inside you see just stacks and stacks of books being passed along in just hundreds of thousands of stacks of gold being counted by many elves working diligently in the room.
Do any of them notice me?
None of them seem to look up.
I say hello.
One person kind of nearest to you glances upward. Yes.
I'm looking for Lord Anara.
Lord Onara is busy in a meeting at the moment. Shall I leave a message?
Just that Lady Elena would...
Very well. Shall I send him, have him send something to you, or meet back up with you, or just tell him you said hi?
Just that I wish to apologize to him, and I'm willing to meet with him whenever he wishes.
Lady Anara wishes to... no, Lady Elena wishes to apologize. I shall pass that along to Lord Anara. Sure.
I leave the town. I leave the place.
All right. So you make your way out the tower, down the many, many steps, and rejoin the party, who is all in the throes of looking relatively bored, waiting for you.
So, to receive the help of the Lord Varret, we have to take care of a little play issue.
Oh boy.
I disagree.
You disagree that it's a Fae issue, or disagree with help?
Just disagree with him.
That we have to take care of it? Is that...
He wants to test my metal.
By stabbing it into him.
Why does he need to test your metal?
If only it were so
Because
easy.
I am barely an elf.
Did he say that to you? I'm sorry, say that again?
Yes, he said that.
Well, fine then.
Sipala, we need to help no matter what views they hold. Can't
I never said we're not going to help them.
Okay,
I just don't think they're very nice.
I agree, but hate does not produce anything other than...
Who said anything about hating?
Hate leads to
The elves, we can't keep perpetuating how we need to help them, okay? Like, this is really screwing it up down here.
No, if they have their own problems, if they're more than welcome to deal with their own problems.
Can't leave innocent people.
I'm sorry, but we've helped them. We've warned them. And if he's going to be all Mr. You're not fully elf, then that's his dang problem. And obviously
I'm not
that he
worried
doesn't
about
care.
him. I'm worried about the innocent people who do not know what is coming.
Yes, but obviously he doesn't care enough.
Well, we came and did what we needed to do. We are warning them like we originally planned. If they're too much of a fool to see the potential danger in this, that's on them. I'm sorry about that.
I'm hearing a lot of theys for one person saying something.
Same.
Agreed.
Just because the leadership here won't do anything doesn't mean we can condemn the rest of the city,
I'm not
despite
saying
their
condemn them.
dispositions.
I'm just saying. There's no reason for us to.
There are innocent elves, women, children. There are innocent people who are not even elves. That if we do not try our hardest, that will suffer.
What kind of timetable do we have?
Not a good
Yes,
one.
is this time sensitive? Can it wait until we get back?
It is time sensitive in the sense that we do not know when Colt will do what they want. He
Right.
sarcastically said, "Take your time."
Well, do we count on their strength to hold off until we get back, assuming something happens? Because we know something's happening down south right now.
What is happening down south?
The whole frog people thing.
I wasn't there for that.
Oh boy. Notes. Minions of, I believe, Hanyosai are attacking Frog Chief Masuta and his camp, his tribe village.
Did you just go into the bathroom?
Yeah.
It's okay. I just got your text, so you wanted to see me.
Yeah, I sent that like an hour ago.
What's up?
I said that one an hour.
Do we possibly risk the life of one to save the many, or risk the lives of many to save the one?
Well, it's not the one. It's a tribe. They can help us retrieve the Raps of Tiamat. They are far less defensible. And I think Singorn will be here when we get back. Besides, the cult isn't after Singorn itself. Their destination is near Singorn.
And here's another question. How long has that mansion been there with this problem?
Did I find that out? Cal?
Cal's muted.
Sorry, still muted. The Lord Kalendar said that it has that last time they went to the Feywild,
Oh, so like
32 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been 32 years. Apparently, there is a centaur named Windy Branch. Who has
No,
been-
not a centaur.
The port.
Pixie
What did
Prince.
you say?
Pixie Prince.
I thought you said that he was a centaur.
No, I said that they've seen centaurs, but there's also a leader who's the
There's
Pixie
a-
Prince.
leader who's dubbed himself the Pixie Prince.
So it's been
that
here
for
for
32 years.
so it's been here for 35 years.
32.
32. It sounds like it can wait a week, but that it should be taken care of by us, I suppose.
Why haven't they taken care of this?
Apparently, it's very hard.
I mean, they're constantly boasting their strength.
Yes, the Fae are very tricky.
A lot of things are tricky.
Fae more so.
Okay. I'm not saying we condemn them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
No.
just saying that we should go help the people, in my opinion, who need more help at this point.
Agreed.
And then we can come back. We have to come back anyways.
This will wait.
Which I agree with. It's just sounded a lot like we were condemning all for the sins of one.
We're not.
Right.
It's not just one person down there. It's a whole clan.
No,
a whole...
he was
No.
talking about
Oh,
the way the
Never mind.
big elves treat us.
Eldoris, thoughts?
I think it's gonna.
Guess it waits then.
All right then.
Okay, so the party decides to head out.
All right.
Yes.
I want to get a message to Glaive
Okay, how would you like to
before
do
we
it?
leave. I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far.
Sapala,
yes.
did Glaive still have his earring, or was that...
It's probably muffled by the magic.
And he was
It's
blocked
also
from the
in
scrying.
the sack. And it's in the sack.
He took it off.
Oh, did he?
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh, I have that.
Never mind.
I could.
We can stop by, right? Tell them we're heading out.
Quick. More things keep
Quickly.
popping up.
Send a ladder.
Quickly.
Yes, I agree.
Alright. Let's go. Well,
Alright.
Tabala can go with me. We'll meet you at the entrance.
Okay.
Alright.
Meet you there.
So Paula and Vale, you make your way toward the Barrel Keep as the rest of the party gets the wagon ready with Bernadictus, Ananduil, everyone else. Approaching the Barrel Keep, Sapala leads you through the forges to the general area that Glaive had been working before, where you find the same forge. This time, on this day, it appears that Glaive has graduated from being a simple bellows worker, and as you approach, the old man that had been working the forge is sitting in the corner and appears to be resting a sore wrist of sorts. And Glaive, however, is pounding a sword on the anvil, and you see this look of absolute determination in Glaive's face, as with every hammer hit, you see his very rage, his very essence being put in every hammer blow as he stares intently into the glowing blade.
Glaive.
He doesn't respond at first.
Rolling to here. Over the hammer.
Glaive?
Rolling emotional control.
Roll a 1.
Can we get closer, or is we like being blocked?
Nope, you're not being blocked.
Oh, all right. I'll walk nearer then.
I pull on his shirt sleeve and I said, Glaive.
A shower of sparks flies off as I miss the sword. What? Where am I?
Glaive.
Oh, Spala. Hi.
Hello. She hugs him.
He is very sweaty and very stinky.
That is okay.
How's prison life?
Productive. I hold up the sword.
It's crude.
It's not bad.
It's terrible.
Well, at least you have something to do.
We're heading out soon.
Try not to die.
You
Likewise. You've got what? 4 more days? Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Ish. We know that the cult is looking for something near Singhorn. When you get out, if there's any chance you could collect some info, hopefully. Look around. I don't know what we're looking for, but I assume it's similar to what we found under Whitestone. You can find anything that'll narrow it down for us when we get back.
The world is vibrating.
I'm very powerful. Behold.
Lord
Yeah.
Master Cal,
No way.
how old is the city of Singorn itself?
I know the answer to that. It's right on the other page.
Quite.
Very old.
Founded by the sorceress in Yarlan civilization.
Isn't this as old as the diversions are older?
Yeah, it's the first city that was pretty much made up after the diversions.
Oh, after the diversions.
Okay, so not quite as
Yes.
old. That was close.
Yeah.
It's all a couple thousand years
It's as old as it's a couple thousand. Taldore is 800. So Singorn, I'm gonna say is about 2,000 maybe.
I'm going to throw a haymaker question just out into the woods and see if I hit anything.
Into the woods, it's time to go. It may be
Ow.
in vain, I know.
I knew about the city of Vasselheim.
Yes, Vasselheim was created before the diversions.
Would I know of any significant architecture in this area from my time way back in past?
Make a knowledge check.
Is that a straight intelligence roll, or do I have to actually get my character sheet?
Straight intelligence roll. And this might be difficult for you because you were a barbarian from the Wild Mountains.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. Get character sheet open. Give information, and my modifiers are 0.
Yay.
I have an 18.
That's not bad. You don't know much about this continent. You don't know outside your herd. You didn't pay much attention to politics. You didn't pay much attention to religion or anything along those lines. Your herd focused on who they could kill and who they could conquer next. However, you are aware about building, and you're aware about smithing, forging, and constructing monuments. And you do know that not near Singorn, but a little bit further south of Singorn, or where Singorn is now, where you are now, in a more tropical region of this continent, you knew that there was a great civilization that was excellent at stone work.
The dwarves.
No, not necessarily. I would put
joking. I was joking.
The Dwemer.
more like to the current perspective of the world, like the Mayans or Aztec, in their ability to create monuments out of stone. That you would be possibly aware of. You say how far away were they?
I was going to ask how far Bale is planning on going. How far are you planning on going?
Not quite sure yet. Believe it's about a week south, a week back. No more once we get there.
And Glaive,
Yes.
the civilization in question would probably be about a week journey south.
Oh, well, two birds.
Convenient.
Interesting. Let me know if their civilization is in ruins. I had set my sight on them when I was in my prime, I suppose. I don't know what that would be.
I think you're still in your prime.
One thing to note, Glaive, I suppose, I would whisper this to you, but I know it's something you would tell them immediately.
Absolutely.
So I'm not even going to bother. one thing you know about the civilization is that the jungle surrounding them, the reason they were so powerful and the only reason you heard about them is the legends that surrounded them and the great beasts that lived among them.
Oh boy, they're getting that part. So
I
One of
figured
the- yeah. One of the reasons that these people caught my attention is because they had enormous beasts and thick jungle. So I'm telling you, keep your head low. Quick.
When you say enormous beasts,
They could probably eat me in about 3 bites.
any frog-like beasts?
that you don't know. The specific legends only refer to them as the great beasts.
Gotcha. Do you know the concept of legend?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know the specifics. It's like Yatu. It's just some gigantic hairy man. It could be a bugbear.
Oh boy. Well, all right. That'll make things insufferable. Okay. So, all right. If it's, do you think that may be where the cult is interested in?
Yes.
All right, then.
You may want to get there before they get attacked.
Agreed. All right. Can't let you know we're off.
Do me a favor, if you got time, can you give me some sketches of their architecture and buildings?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I'll check in with you in about 5 days via Scriball.
I'll do my best to answer.
All right.
I give
Good
them
luck.
both a monstrous hug before they
Oh,
get a
God.
chance to leave.
Oh God.
It's slick. You almost slip right out of his arms.
Whee! Woo!
Wasn't expecting that.
This is gonna soak right through your clothes. I hope you realize you're gonna smell like sweaty giant Goliath, man.
Can I dodge the hug?
You didn't say until after.
I know.
All
Can
right.
you dodge the stink lines?
Acrobatics versus athletics check. Go. It's a grapple check.
Not again. Not again. Sarenrae, if you're with me.
Don't be with him. Make him smell.
Sarenrae's slightly amused. 14.
Okay.
Wait, no, acrobatics. 20. Please, why am I doing athletics?
You poor stinky half elf.
Not again.
23.
You go to slip out, and all of a sudden, the hand grabs your sleeve and pulls you in on a great big bear hug.
What sleeve?
Oh, good point.
I am immune to this attack.
And as you tried to dodge out of the way, your mouth had been a little bit open, which just intercepts his bicep, and you just get a mouthful.
God, I want to stunning strike you right now.
Go for it. It'll only make it worse because I won't be able to let go.
That's why I'm not.
Sapala, you getting in on this?
Huh?
You gonna get into the hug fest?
Oh yes, of course. I thought I already was.
She's more
I
accepting.
tried to get both, but I had to pay special attention to Vale because she tried to escape.
Didn't try to escape. I tried to avoid it altogether. I failed. I can do amazing things, except avoid public humiliation.
This is not public. This is one old elf.
Except
a
avoid
Goliath
personal
friend.
humiliation.
Personal, yes. So I'm gonna let go after a solid minute.
Ooh. And he officially think. Take 4 points of stink damage.
Oh, I already have.
All right.
Ooh, oh,
Yes.
I'm just, sorry. After Vale like walks away a bit, I'm gonna stay behind and I'm gonna say something to Glaive real quick.
And you can bet that happens quickly.
Glaive,
Yes.
are you okay?
He has a very distant look at him for a few seconds. And he just comes back and says, "There's not really any way to actually answer. The longer I'm separated, the more I'm coming to terms that I've been doing. And the less okay I am with those exact things."
No. Just so you know, if the whole world turns against you, you still got me.
I know I do.
And we'll be back. And she squeezes his hand and runs away to Vale.
Flip him off from a distance.
All right. Glaive goes back to hammering the metal, and Sapala, you listen in sadness as the sound of the hammer meeting the metal gets dimmer and dimmer as you leave the Barrel Keep, eventually making your way to the southern gate of Singorn, to where everyone else is already waiting, cart packed and ready to go. As you glance around, you do see, from this vantage point at the southern gate of Singorn, a massive mansion with what appear to be hundreds of trees and shrubs and vines sprouting out of it at odd directions, bursting through the windows and through the stonework. And around it, about maybe 100 to 200 guards forming a wall around the entire building. And just the faint sound of festival music coming from inside the house.
The theater.
We missed out on that.
No, we didn't.
Okay, so everyone, you're making your way south now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, that's where we'll take our break.
Dig it. Dig it.
Might as well just. I almost say we should just end it.
It did.
Yeah, that might be an idea. That's a good spot.
You might
Only
want to
'cause-
go back
only-
on it for everyone.
Was it?
Did we leave? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say that we ended the gates to the south of past Singorn open, and you see in front of you this massive line of mighty rainforest trees, sycamores, much like the one in the center of Singorn, sprawls out maybe 50 to 100 miles beyond and stretches over the horizon, and dark storm clouds fill the sky.
Ooh.
Ominous.
Cold lightning.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
See you next
Yay!
And
Sorry for the shorter game, but we is tired.
we is tired, and
I currently have a fever, so I'm okay with it.
oh, good, Lord Sapala.
Because she loves D&D.
Alright. Good night, everybody.
Is the only cure more cowbell?